Well, Amy's just finishing up her top 10 list for this week, and I want to run through the 2-year-olds. The ones that you went with, I'll ask you about, but just a general note on all the horses. AC/DC is good, running in a little bit. I suspect it was just the track. I'm not that worried about it. We'll put a little blister on him and break him to a head pole, a Murphy blind. There's no issue there. So AC/DC will be fine, and was fine yesterday. Aunt Sarah, I believe she won her set, but I can't be certain. I was back a little bit. There was 2 of them right there together, her and Jailbird Jog. So I used to be because I missed some. Okay, I see. So Aunt Sarah has been training great, off and on, not off and on, full time since the start of the new year. Blue Rare was off and on. Blue Rare has been off and on good. She was off on Amy last week, but certainly was on yesterday and looked very, very, very good. I think she's top of the class as far as the trotters go. Don't let me affect your top 10 list. No, didn't. I just forgot about her. Okay. Oh, it didn't, but I forgot about her. It sounds like it did. So Blue Rare has been great. Caprestano Nights is good. You just got to watch her. See, she just got rough on the wire on Jason yesterday. You can't ask her to go 0 to 100 because she'll try and go to 110. And that's just how she is. You have to keep her, let her pace into her hobbles. I guess that's hard to explain. You need to let her pace into her hobbles coming forward. But we'll see how Caprestano Nights has been. There's no shortage of speed, that's for sure. Captain Doolittle is the biggest mover of the last little while for me. This is a horse that really made a lot of breaks and wasn't quite doing it right. I started going with him a little more full-time the last 2 weeks. We made some shoeing adjustments. We made some equipment adjustments. Yesterday, he was awesome. He went a mile and I think I said 2:41. Might have been a little bit quicker, actually. Who? Captain Doolittle. He's been great. You never saw it. He made that 7th, the first brush to the lead in the first lap. And then 2 horses picked him off. I could have fought them off, I think, but I just wasn't going to put him in a spot where he might make a break. So I just left him alone. So Captain Doolittle was very good. Cherry's Girl made a break after the wire, I think, yesterday. I meant to put the hobbles on her. I did not. I brought it up, and Tyler had said when he was out there, no, she'll be fine. And then after, he goes, you just got to watch her when she's coming up into high gear. I said, that's why we're going to put the hobbles on her. You know, I don't want, anytime we have to watch her, or she has to watch herself, that's time taken away from doing her work properly. We can help her out with that. She's going to need the hobbles next week. Degas. Did you see her trot up the inside yesterday? Hey, Degas?
Said what?
1 or 2. She was early. Jason screamed to the front. Her. She was awesome. She was awesome. Clear to the front, going past the 3/8.
Yeah, that's who I ran over
when?
At the end. I had to come up. That's the only way I got through.
Oh, with Perfection? Yeah, that was the set.
I was following him.
Yeah, she was very good. She finished up strong. She was very strong and looked really, really good. I like this filly. I mean, my only concern, my only question was how deep is she? But every time I see her now, yesterday I made a point to go back and look at her in the bath rack, and she wasn't blowing at all. So she's getting into shape and she's looking good. Diosa Della Danza trained good. She continues to look good. I'm going to go with her the next couple of weeks also. Don't Ask Again looked better finishing up her mile. I was really happy with her. Dune, I know I spoke to James yesterday, and he was guarded. He said, listen, I know where she's going. He said, I think if you tell me there are 20 or 25 pacing fillies eligible to the Sire Stakes in Michigan, I would have to believe this would be one of the better ones. Without knowing, he said, and as I say that, I don't know how all the other ones are. I don't know who they're by or what they're training. When I look at this filly training down, she looks very, very good. And I find it hard to believe that there be 24 other equivalent horses or anywhere remotely close to how she's training down in Michigan. That was James. Now, that's a fair statement because he doesn't have any idea of what else is going on, who's training, how they're training in Michigan. But he says Dune is very, very good. Emerald Tom continues to be good. This horse has just done it everywhere the last little while. He's bigger than you think he is, too. A lot bigger than you think he is. He got up alongside me. He is all legs the other day and looked extremely good. Really, really happy with what I've seen from Emerald Tom. My hands are so dry. Go Strong Hanover. Tyler St. Louis, you had to leave, and Tyler went with the horse yesterday, and he told me, he said, I couldn't see in the mud. He said, I just sat there. He sat at the back, but this is I can't wait. One of these days, you're going to see my name pop up on Go Strong Hanover, and I can't wait to go with this horse. Head to Know was good yesterday, but this was his first training trip back. You said he made a break late in the stretch. Eric
did?
Head to Know?
Yeah.
Eric didn't tell me that, but he trotted right up alongside me. This is a big, strong colt. I said, Eric, every time I look at this colt, he looks bigger. He's just a gigantic animal. What's that?
What's I Don't Play Nice's sister's name?
Tomboy Strong.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Head to Know, I'm not worried about him at all. He's got a beautiful gait, big, strong colt. He's a Fearless Peter, won a set yesterday and looked very, very good doing it. This horse gets better every time he's on the track. Highest Honors was a little bit sick and missed yesterday, but Highest Honors has been training great. Very important, both him and He's a Fearless Peter have really turned the corner since we castrated them just after Christmas. In New York, Amy refused to put him on her top 10 list.
Oh, you got to do more than one.
He was awesome yesterday. He beat them up, made them like it. He's a nice little colt. I don't know how good he's going to be, but he's going to be fun to race, I think. This is a guy, you're probably going to see him go to Kentucky early. I don't know where I'm going to send him, but do you know the 2-year-old stake races in Kentucky? Do you know when they start, the fairs? May 23rd. Does that make any sense to anybody? Like May 20-something. Like it's May. It's definitely May.
Like before you would even qualify.
Yeah, before any other horse are qualified, we're going to race them here. You don't have to qualify to race in the fairs, but I don't know who I'm going to send him to.
But if you have a paramount mutual start in the fair, does that count as a qualifier?
If the line is good, it's good. Absolutely. And they're decent fairs down there, too. So, the same as Ohio. You don't have to be qualified to race in a fair in Ohio. You can put them in to go. I don't like you right now. I jumped over somebody here. I didn't talk about Hanger 1. Went right over top of Hanger 1. Hanger 1 is a little warm. Eric said, gets a little warm. I said, yeah, I know he does. Yeah, we're going to have to work through it. There's a number of ways we can do that. We can either drop him down to like 28, which is way faster than anybody's going, but I know I can keep him contained if we can find some age horses to train him with for a little while, just while he learns to transition, just while he learns to behave. He wasn't castrated that long ago, and I think that's the one component that is still moving, is that he hasn't really lost that testosterone level, hasn't come down a little bit where he's not so annoying and rude, and I think he will conform. The green shoes that we put through the ringer though before, you got to be careful. You can't push too hard. It's not like we talked about Uncle Peter's. The green shoes are not like that. So we'll get Hanger 1. Fast colt. I like everything about him. He's not perfect because he has his shortcomings, but we're working on them. Then we went to He's a Fearless Peter, Highest Honors in New York. He's just a sweetheart of a colt. I don't know who I'm going to send him to, but he'll likely show up at the fairs in Kentucky the end of May. I think he will. What? Why is that so funny? Okay. Jailbird Jog was awesome again yesterday. She's one of our best horses, this filly. It just doesn't seem to be any bottom to her. She just keeps going and going and going and looking good. J. Fotag, quite the opposite. She just makes the odd break, and she's just a big, flabby filly. I went with her on Wednesday. I was third with her. I thought it must have been the days before that. I thought she trained pretty good. We took the weight off her. Jason said she was running in and acting up, and listen, at this point of time, she is going to have a tough end of February into March run, and I'll have to go with her. Next week in particular, starting next week, she's going to have a long, long week, and I just need her to conform. Put in the work. The output will be shown from the work she puts in, and that will be up to her, both mentally and physically. Jolene Hall continues to train good. Jason said the head pole was bothering her the other day. Take it on, take it off. I told him she'll be fine. She needs to put the work in. Put the head pole on her if you want. Put the work in, and she has to do it the same every day. The one thing I hate is when you guys, and you do it too, you'll start way at the back and catch up to everybody. I want the horses in the pack starting out from lap 1. I don't want anybody catching up and then getting in the flow. That teaches them nothing. They need to be able to sit in. And that's when they do their worst work, is at the start of that 3 laps, when they're in the pack and they're acting up. That is when you have to teach them right there. And catching up late doesn't teach them anything. I notice Jason does that sometimes too. And Jolene Hall, I can't say he did it yesterday, but I suspect that's what happened. Judy's Money continues to do good things. It's just a lovable filly. I didn't see the finish of the mile yesterday that she was in, but she has been doing her work well. Leland Hanover continues to excel also and look good. The little mark on his foot yesterday, but that was when the tractor was out there, I think. But he was good. He was good in the mile. He was really good. Lifting Legend, James said, is trained great this week. I think Dominic went with Lifting Legend on Saturday, James said. James went with his filly. Johnny went with Dune. Dominic went with Lifting Legend. And Danny went with the other colt.
Are you castrating him still?
Yes, I am castrating him. He should be castrated today or tomorrow. Tomorrow, I guess. Love Sensation did her work. Eric said 3 trips in a row now. She's been perfect. Lots on the end of it and looking good. Very happy with the way she's doing her work, but really excited about the way Megan's Lucky Day is doing her work. I like when horses, they got that rigid exterior, and then you work with them, and you can almost see it just fall off, right? She's turned into such a sweet little filly. She was absolutely perfect yesterday. I loved what I saw from her. You had your filly on the front end, and I just followed you the whole way. Somebody maybe picked me off the wire. I thought maybe she fought them off. It didn't matter. She was trying to fight them off. She did her work perfect.
That was Go Strong. Or not Go Strong. It was Tomboy Strong.
Yes, Tomboy Strong. You're right.
I saw those white socks coming out beside me.
Yeah, she was flying on the end of it. Millie Girl continues to train well. I like this filly. Her and My Name is Sweeney. Both very similar. Different colors, different horses, different gaits, but always doing the same kind of work. Really, really like their work ethic. Neuromancer was good yesterday. He's nowhere near perfect. He's got egg bars on behind because he had quarter cracks in his hind feet. It was just weird, but we're working on them. We changed his shoes up front to help him, but that transition is not done overnight. It's tough for a young horse, and he was good yesterday. He was right there in the middle of the pack, finishing up. I think I was 4th. I probably could have been a lot closer. I just didn't want to push. I didn't want to tip him over. There's your daughter. Tell them the other 2 better be on their way out.
Hello?
So Neuromancer, Perfection Hanover was very, very good yesterday. That's when Amy said she was kind of knifing through and actually hit a fender with Perfection Hanover, but he was strong on the end of the mile, and I was really, really happy with him, and happy to hear that, and happy to see him shooting through late. Perfect Thought continues to be the queen of the castle. She was awesome yesterday, and I mean very, very good yesterday.
Over?
She's not coming. The other 2 are hang up. We're trying to do a video. We're going to the barn.
Oh, you're not going. Oh. No one told me.
No one told you? We just thought we were going to sit in the car forever?
I don't know.
Okay, hang the phone up. Bye-bye. Perfect Thought was very, very good yesterday. Amy went with her. Pretty Eyes and Lies. Gee, how many did you win yesterday there, Killer?
2.
You only had the 2 wins?
I would have had 3 if my other thing wasn't such a psychopath.
Oh, the psychopatch? Yeah. Pretty Eyes and Lies was very good also. I talked about her in
That's
depth.
her first time on the front, too.
Yeah, well, she's starting to look like a horse. I see she's a little easier to put the gear on. She's just growing up.
Yeah,
I'm not shocked. She is just getting to be smarter and looking good on the track. And, more times than not, what you're looking at in the barn translates to the track very well. And Pretty Eyes and Lies looks exceptionally good in the barn. And looked very, very good yesterday. Rico Tubbs continues to be great. Tyler had to go with him yesterday because I had to go take Ollie over to baseball practice. But he said, no, he's a nice colt. We already knew that. I don't really know what he did or how he did it. It doesn't matter. The horse has been perfect for quite a while now. Riding the Rodeo continues to look good. Eric said, right line a bit. I said, she's always on the right line a bit. Usually blister her knees and hocks and stifles. We'll do that again this week. But just a big, big, strong filly. You'll probably see her show up in Ontario at some point, I guess. We got a very, very good base into this filly now. James said they trained all the horses in 240 in Ontario. That's all we've been in Ohio.
Yeah, but we're on a smaller track.
We're also on a much faster track than First Line Training Center. So I was glad to hear that. I was a little surprised that he said they've been in 40, but really, really happy with riding the Rodeo. Rose Run Bobby. Psycho. Amy, she's got that loose wire that the Uncle Peters generally have, but it dissipates, and she's a really, really nice filly. And when you go on the track and she's acting like that, that's the day to work her.
I did.
I know, but
there.
I know I wasn't there, but
I went 2 laps and I scored her down a full lap.
Well, you have to score her down until she's under control. And if she comes in very tired, well, that's just a tough day, a tough Saturday for Bobby.
Oh, she did come in tired because she didn't work after he pulled up. Everybody else pulled up.
Well, that's not helping.
I did not.
That's not really helping you in the mile, though, right? You want to help her and make sure that she understands her work. and understands the consequences of not doing her work. Also,
you just go with her, and then you can tell me about.
We all know what's going to happen. If I go with her, she's going to be perfect, and you're going to throw yourself and kick buckets around the barn. So we don't need.
But that's
we
the
don't
thing
need
is,
to
I
see
can't duplicate the situation.
I know. Well, I don't know what to tell
The
you.
mud was hitting her in the face off the fender. She threw herself. Her head check came off. Game over.
Okay, so I don't know what to tell you about that. I have no idea what to tell you about that. She'll be fine, Rosa and Bobby. Royal Duchess was good. She finished second in her mile. She never does it pretty, but she gets I like her because she gets it done. She never goes out to look for a way out, and that is obvious when she works. When she makes a break, she's angry. She gets frustrated. But yesterday, she was very good. Finished up her mile good. I like the filly. I can't say she's going to be fast. I said she reminds me a lot of Coupe de Ville.
Coupe de Ville was fast.
No, at 2 she was okay. Remember, she won that fair by like 45 lengths, but she was just a runaway. And then at 3 she came out and she was a really good filly. So I'm hoping this filly can duplicate that because she does want to do her work. Royal Flush Dio, I've been letting this go on too long with no hobbles and not really putting the work to him. I guess he made a break yesterday, but Jason went with him 2 weeks ago, and I said, I forgot to put the hobbles on the horse. He goes, I don't think he needs them. He does. For now, anyway. And he's going to get them. He may actually go with them on Monday. Simply Chaotic, again, by all accounts, is doing his work well. They get the hobbles on him in Ontario also. We'll see how Simply Chaotic does. You know, and something struck me just as I said that. James said the hobbles kind of look a little tight on that colt. The only Trixtons we ever had were zinging tight hobbles. Remember the Dio filly?
Oh, Blue?
No. Blue, yes, but the other filly, the better filly.
Oh, yeah. What's her name? Spirit?
Spirit of Dio wore the tightest hobbles you could ever wear on a horse. Yeah. As tight as I've had them on Big Fred when he was young. And so I never thought about that until right now. Solidarity was good again. Now we've been blistering him. Those splints must be bugging him a little bit because he was better yesterday on a softer track, Tyler said. Steph's Hope went good also. Sterling Hanover. You tell them about Sterling Hanover because I thought he looked good, but I didn't see you until you were after the mile.
He was fine. He did his work fine. But he just, he's hard-headed. And it's almost like, okay, I'll do it, but I don't really want to.
Well, we saw that with 3 Point his whole life also. And then he turned into a horse that wanted to pass. You know what I was going to tell you yesterday?
There's no making him do more than what he wants to.
Well, truthfully speaking, you can't make a horse do more than they want to. You have to change their mindset. You can't make a horse do it.
But sometimes when you ask them and they don't respond and then you ask them again, they'll either make a mistake or they'll do it. Yeah. He just continues doing what he's already doing.
I was going to tell you, too, you might want to put a rubber bit in that guy, too. You said he won't pick the bit up really good. Not at all. So maybe put a rubber bit in his mouth, too. That might help. Where are we at here? Supermind was good, but I told Eric pulling up. He goes, a little rocky in the turns. He said, Eric, his hobbles are like 1 full foot too long.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, really? He looks down and said, almost literally a foot too long. I said, pull them up. So that was the issue with Supermind. But he did his work well. Sweet Lake, I talked about her. I was very surprised that she made any mistakes on Jason. This filly just pounded everybody the other day. I like her. The problem I have with her is that she trains awesome when I go with her and not so awesome when almost everybody else goes with her. And I cannot tell you why. She's not lazy. It's not like you're going to wake her up or, have her. I don't know why that happens, but every time I go with her, I say this is one of the best fillies we have. And every time I watch somebody else go with her, I'm like, what's wrong with this filly? I don't know, but, when push comes to shove and we start creating the real muscle on her, I think she's really going to come to life. I don't think there's any hurry to get her sharp. Just leave her alone the way she is right now. Tomboy Strong has been awesome and just continues to look so good. We sold her brother. Got rid of I Don't Play Nice yesterday, and he just broke my heart, that horse. He had the talent to be a good horse and just ultimately chose not to even be a remotely competitive horse. And that's... we just said that. You can't make a horse be better. And I was so frustrated midway through the summer watching this horse just regress into a disgustingly inferior version of the horse I thought he would be, that I almost just got rid of the mare, the foals, everything, just said, the whole line, get rid of it. And we kept Tomboy Strong. And I'm going to tell you, she could not be further from her brother. She's got that snap speed that he never had, but she has that spirit, that competitive spirit that he lacked. And I see it all the time with her. She went by 3 of them, and she had her eyes set on you down the lane. She was going to run you down. And just a beautiful filly with such a nice gait. She is, I hope, she turns into be what I know he could have been. And that's just racing. That's just the way it is. But, man, she looks good on the track. Uncle Danny continues to look great every single week. This horse looks good. Woodmere Bullet, Jamie said he's going to train him Sunday. So they work on Sundays in PEI. He must take another day off. Or no days off. I know Smitty. He might just take no days off. But he said Woodmere Bullet was going to train in Charlottetown on Sunday morning. And then Zena Kemp trained great yesterday, looked good, well on her way back forward. We'd make a few little changes with her, but Tyler said she was good yesterday. So those are your 2-year-olds. The only thing left now is Mrs. McDonald's top 10 list. We'll be back with that in just a minute.